Hello, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Beyond the Summit presentation of the Star Ladder I-League China match between KYXY's Thunder Robot Gaming and FTD.B. So, FTD.B actually were able to take Game 1 of this best of 2 off of TRG and are now looking to try to make that not 1 point but 3, looking for the 2-0 here on their second match here. This is day 3 of Star Ladder, and it's been so far a blast. It's been a lot of interesting games, some dynamic Dota, and a lot of fun to see. We did have some lag here and there. I did restart some things. Hopefully that helps out. But either way, we're going to be hoping for the best while we hop into the second game here. So, looking at Undying as the first pick here for FTD Club, and we're actually going to be seeing them banning out the Shadow Fiend, which was so highly prioritized. The Slardar, not surprising at all, is actually going to be banned out by TRG along with the Doom. So they struggled against it in the fact that they gave it a sort of a 1v1 matchup. Well, even if they break even with the Slardar there with the Beastmaster, it doesn't matter just because Slardar can do so much more with the early farm. A Necro 1 compared to a Blink Dagger on Slardar? Nah. Slardar has so much potential, just engaging and disengaging, re-engaging, just moving all over the map. And with like 2 other heroes to follow up so easily, they had some quick kills, which built a lot of track momentum. And it made it look nearly like a stomp, even though TRG were, only a few thousand gold away from bringing it back. The Naga could just find some magical farm somewhere. Anyways, we've got ourselves a new game. Undying TA, the opener for FTD Club B, feeling really confident after their previous TA performance. So they're going to try to put TRG out of their comfort zone, keep making those jumps happen, looking for kills, but picking up Undying, answering back with Windranger Earthshaker. I don't know if the TA is going to really thrive in this kind of environment. If you get just a ranged, multiple instance damage dealer, then yeah, you've got a lot of potential to really bring this TA low. Even like a simple hero like a Shadow Demon that doesn't get picked up very often could be really good for countering out the TA's effective potential. And of course the Ember Spirit has a lot of AoE damage over time, and even single target with the Searing. So TA is not going to really be able to rely on Refraction too heavily here, and she's probably going to be needing a better start than even what we saw in Game 1. That being said, she's not going to be the only core. We'll obviously FTD Club B look for something like the Juggernaut here would be pretty strong. Not great against Ember Spirit. Actually, like 50-50 on Windranger, so it's just it's overall a reliable pickup, but maybe they want to go for something a little bit different.
Reserve time.
Even still, we've got a lot of room to farm for FTD Club B. The Undying will give a better shot of winning at the laning stage and give them tower momentum, and from there they've got more map to work with. So I think you want somebody that farms stacks, you want somebody that just takes advantage of a pretty open map, and we'll see what that ends up being. But they did ban up the Heartstone Gyrocopter. They're worried a little bit about that 5-on-5 Wombo combo, and the Ember Spirit is still part of that in a way when he gets that Battle Fury, but prior to that doesn't really do too much. For now, they're going with Dazzle Undying, and the big thing this means to me is that they don't care about the Ember Spirit's mobility. They're not focusing on Disable, they're going to let him roam free, and they're not even going to really even have an easy way of canceling TP. It's like maybe you can pick up a Sven stun. Have we seen Wraith King a little bit more this tournament? Those cores obviously have the ability to cancel TPs, but for the most part, your safe lane core, that's not his job, and the supports aren't filling that role either in this case. So no stuns, no TP cancels. Makes channeled spells really powerful, so I expect to see like a Witch Doctor pick here. Witch Doctor, Crystal Maiden, Bane even would be really strong. Yeah, hell yeah, go for the Bane. That'd be really good. Ancient Apparition is going to be the choice though, so that's their call, but they're going to try to negate the healing aspect of the lineup. Well, they're not taking advantage of channeled spells. They are able to make sure that Soul Rip and that Shadow Wave won't top people off, and most importantly means that the Shallow Grave might not be a free saving grace if they can get the Shatter in there. I've said this a few times before, but I feel like Ice Blast, before it gets Aghanim Scepter, is countered a bit by the Shallow Grave, and then when the Aghanims is up, Shallow Grave is hard countered by the Ice Blast, as you're absolutely going to die no matter what you do, unless you have like a Weaver or a Terror Blade. I think those are the only 2 heroes that can reset their health in that particular fashion.
Night Stalker.
Night Stalker's gonna come out here
Radiant
for
team
FTD
back.
Club B. James is gonna be piloting that one, so instead of the Bounty Hunter, we get ourselves a Hunter in the night. And that means the Undying is just gonna be sitting in the off lane for the most part. Undying Night Stalker will still be the off lane duo, but I think James prefers to run the Night Stalker over the Undying
10
here.
seconds remaining.
We'll see. For now, though, they have a really overall good lineup
5
for
seconds
early
remaining.
aggression. They're going to be able to gank, they're going to be able to push, they're going to be able to just, in general, gain gold momentum.
Reserve time.
TRG, they're the turtle draft. They're the ones that are going to try to hold the line, use Fissure and Power Shot to clear out creep waves, hold the high ground as long as possible, and build themselves up to a mid to late game stage. So, I think KYXY is happier playing from behind. He just likes to out-carry his opponents, so he's okay for going for greedier and harder carries. But yeah, I think that they have that potential, but last time it just was too much momentum, and they got snowballed over. Clockwork going to be banned out by FTD Club, as they presume TRG are looking for their off-lane pickup here, and there really aren't that many more in the pool, at least not common ones. Is Juggernaut going to be banned out still? Like I said, it's not the best pick. Enemy
10
Slash is not a great
seconds
spell
remaining.
against TRG's chorus, but it's still pretty
5
solid. It's still an
seconds
overall
remaining.
good hero.
Reserve time.
I wonder if you could see something weird in FTD Club's draft, like pick up a Life Stealer or something like that, and find like those infest bombs with the Hunter of the Night running around. You can't really go Armlet against AA though, so that's probably trash. And I'm hoping for days of the more advanced meta. We're seeing a lot of unpicked heroes still. I know it's a lot better than it used to be, where like the same 20 heroes get picked every game. We have like 60, 70 heroes in the competitive pool right now. But, I want to see the carry role and potential specifically getting diversified. And whether that means like
Dire team
some
pick.
pushing cores. I like Sven. He's definitely very enjoyable to watch. Here we're up against a Rubik. And I'm curious about that, to be honest with you. I mean, Tombstone's a great steal. Shallow Grave, pretty solid. Refraction's actually one of my favorite spells to steal. And then, of course, you can get a few things from the Night Stalker too. But all in all,
10
it's not feeling like the
seconds
best Rubik game. So they're going to have the Earthshaker on the offlane, and they just wanted a support that
5
sets up the
seconds
cold feet,
remaining.
as well as providing some good mid-game fight. But Ursa's going to be the one to come out, talk about that diverse drafting, and is this a level 1 Roche? It's going to be an early Roche, but maybe not level 1. Ursa, we see him against Undying more often because of the Tombstone, but if Ursa... Honestly, I don't see how Ursa stays on his targets here. He can kill the supports really easily, but he's actually going to have a pretty hard time singling out KYXY or MMC. The Wind Ranger, Wind Running Away. There's no way Ursa gets an MKB this game. Not for a long, long time. Still, I talked about how they want to snowball, and here's a hero that can do it. Get a Blink Dagger on this guy, a little bit of lifesteal, and then probably BKB after that. Yeah, you need a BKB this game.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
So, jumping into it, we're going to be seeing these guys get all set up, and yeah, we've got ourselves a near Rubik. We're going to see the Ancient Apparition playing... oh, forgot to reset one thing.
Prepare for battle.
Alright, and yeah, it's saying high packet loss detected. So, 55% packet loss. Screw you, Perfect World servers. Screw you, firewalls. Hopefully we don't get too much drop in the team fight, but, if I have to cast a slideshow, I shall cast a slideshow. Alright, so we've got Rubik here, starting off with a fighting build, kind of, just going for the Tango Salve. He's gonna be involved in the lane. It's his general intention. He really wants to force this Undying back. Undying is actually gonna be played by James, so it's gonna be off-lane Night Stalker with a double Mango build-up, and then James is gonna be helping out the Night Stalker, but maybe also rotating a bit to help
30
mid.
seconds to battle.
The safe lane is gonna be the Ursa, so we'll see how well he can play in this position against the Earthshaker. He shouldn't be contested too heavily. Earthshaker is really bad at pressuring the lane. He's just good at surviving. So I think it's an odd decision go for the Earthshaker in the off lane because of the fact that you know that FTD are going 2-1-2. When they've got an Undying, they're not going to just leave somebody solo bottom. And that means that your solo off lane is a bit weaker because he's not generating any pressure up top. So, I'm a bigger fan of the Earthshaker support in that context, but they wanted the AA Rubik, and that's what they've got. Anyways, we've got KOXY here. No, what? Where Bounty? Okay, so Bounty Runes went 1 to the Ember Spirit, 1 to the TA. Now KOXY goes to the mid, and is going to be dueling it out against the Templar Assassin. Low armor, so he's going to take a lot of damage, and of course the side blades will strike him pretty heavily too. But Refraction won't mean much against him. And although we can't see it, Flame Guard is... Wow, this is worse than the previous game. Screw this. Well, we'll look at bottom, make sure there's no kill here, and then we'll go and try to reconnect to the game. Because this is horrible. As much as I'd like to say I can cast just about any slideshow there is, this is gonna be like a 5-second delay on kills. Alright, nobody's dying, at least not for the moment. Let's go ahead and reconnect! Holy... Chinese Dota. It's fine when it's smooth, but... It's actually really good when it's smooth, but... It, can be quite problematic with this one small technical factor. No, it's not your stream, guys. It is absolutely... I'm seeing the same thing you guys are. It's just a connection from China to the United States of America. It's not too pretty. And it's just, has to do with, you know, the tubes of the internet. It's a joke. Alrighty, so getting back into the game here, KOXY fighting up against the Temple Assassin. She bops herself a healing salve and keeps herself going. There is no First Blood spell, but there is some damage going into the Ursa, surprisingly. I guess he's taking creeps, but yeah, he is actually a lot lower health than you'd expect him to see, since the Earthshaker really can't do anything to him. Has fissured him once, it looks like. Or maybe he's just fissured back the wave. In either case.
Regeneration!
Undying picks up a regen rune down bottom, stays active with the Night Stalker, and has some kill potential against the Rubik here. They gotta get a couple decays off first, though. Keeping those stacks up. Wind Ranger already has really low base health, so if she gets hit by this decay, yeah, she's down to 378 max health. Even at full HP, she still goes down pretty quick. And we're seeing James just get really involved. The Soul Rip, the Void, might find themselves a kill, but now the Chilling Touch can turn it around. Decay or not, James is going to be taking a lot of damage here, and they should be able to just right-click him down with that fast movement speed and the low base attack time. Healing Salve brings James back up, and they don't have a power shot to cancel it. He's actually getting a lot of healing value out of this, and now they're going to look to apparently turn it. Yeah, going on to Nier, but he's out of decay range, and there is going to be a Shackle Shot here onto the Undying, mini-stunning him, and the Ancient Apparition just tries to keep kiting. But now he's caught in the tree line, completely isolated. Nice little juke, but the telekinesis breaks the trees, and James brings him down with a Soul Rip. Now there's a decay, bringing Nier very close to death, and while the Undying will fall, Nier will pop a healing salve, a clarity, and fall back. A few more right clicks delivered to bring him down. He has the magic stick and the stout shield. Will it be enough? Yes, they get the double kill. MMC looking really good here. So yeah, a very active lane. The Undying has a lot of kill potential against such low HP heroes, but they just couldn't stick to a target for long enough to actually finish the job on anybody. Finally, they did get the AA, but not at the cost of 2. It's not worth the trade. MMC still 14-5 despite the pressure. Ember Spirit only 10-1 though, up against the TA's 18-9. He's gonna have to start really using this Flame Guard more actively and really just get up there up against the TA. His bottle's only coming out now. This is a really significant CS disadvantage for KOXY, and we're actually going to be seeing Earthshaker rotate in, gets the Fisher out here, looking for the Aftershock stun too, and that is going to be a kill. Very close call as the Melt Strike brings Ember Spirit to -4 armor, but yes, it is going to be the successful rotation for TRG, putting themselves at 3-1.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Come on, Dota. Let's, we can do this. We can't do this. Holy... Oh my gosh. This is actually awful. I don't really know what to tell you guys. This is completely out of my control and very, very frustrating. Probably for me more than anybody else, but I do apologize to you guys. Poison touch, right clicks. Earthshaker's gonna take like at least 6 hits here, and that should be the death if he doesn't get a good aftershock stun when he runs away. Ursa has boots, he has boots too. That's 360 equal MS, but no Earthshock actually. So maybe it's not as a clear kill. He's gonna run to the back to the lane, and Ursa's gonna go back to the creep wave. Yeah, with Earthshock you maybe have a kill there, but without Earthshock he only gets a couple of hits on the back, and he's actually going to get a bottle out to himself early. The Chinese actually go for this bottle into Blink build, and I think it's really cost-effective. The Earthshaker then tries to rotate to help out mid, but the Ember Spirit gets actually destroyed by the TA in no time at all. She's maxing meld over Refraction, so she has a very surprising amount of burst damage with that first hit, and KXY underestimates it. This is actually this is one of my favorite builds when you're up against low armor opponents that burn through Refraction. Namely, Pudge is the build I go against a lot. They underestimate you, they hook you, you refract the hook, and then you just meld, take out half their HP. But in this case, it kicks out KXY, and he committed all 3 remnants for that fight. Now we're going to see an engagement down bottom. I can barely even think to commentate that. Obviously, you see Rubik did a good amount of damage on the Shackle Shot. Cold Feet did go through, but I might just have to take a breather and message and see if anybody else can jump on this, because my only alternative is to keep resetting Steam and Dota and maybe even my own internet to try to get this back underway. This is just not salvageable. Alrighty, well, I'm going to try to see what I can do to fix this stuff. There's really no point in going further with the stream if it continues to act like this. So right now we've got a 5-3 game favoring TRG here in game 2 of the best of 2. 100 net worth and 400 experience. Very close game. MMC should just win run away here. No problem. Alright. Well, TA's actually in some trouble here. It looks like she'll go down. They do get the telekinesis searing chains. And she can't finish the job with that max magic one. Alright. Well, don't know what to tell you guys. Obviously, like you can see, the stream's fine. It's moving smoothly. It's just crazy stuttery on my connection to the Chinese server here. So, I'm going to see what I can restart, and we'll go to a quick break. Sorry, guys.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've got ourselves a game on our hands. Earthshaker's gonna go for the Fisher. Ursa's caught inside the pit, gonna go for the Roshan play. Gets 6 fierce swipes out, enrages, and gets the lifesteal to bring that Roshan down. The Ice Blast just a little bit too late. It will help shatter this Templar Assassin as MMC goes for the Focus Fire, but now KXY in an awkward position. One remnant up, one coming back up, and he's going to try to stick around in the fight as long as possible. We've got ourselves here, the Ursa pursuing on the A, no problem at all, walks right through those cold feet, shakes them off, and he is now feeling frisky, looking for KYXY. Do I have no game sound now? Okay, well at least it's not lagging. KYXY makes his jump, he's had this remnant all along. It was a surprise to them, but the sneaky remnant now setting up a... Oh! Overpowered Ursa! Oh my gosh, it's an overpowered Rubik! He absolutely could have wrecked the Ursa there with the fastest attacking Rubik you've ever seen, but no. Okay, where are my game sounds? Please. There we go. Alright, that was actually... that was a technical problem for me. Most of this has been out of my control, but that one I could fix. Game sounds back. Game is back, less lag than ever. I'm happy about that. It looks like we missed some action, but now we get to see it all. In crystal clear. Dota 2 feet. Alright, we're going to see Night Stalker get caught a little bit here. The telekinesis, though, you have to be more patient with those steering chains. And, although TK connects, they can't bring him down. And Night Stalker's going to be going for this Midas very early on. You can look at the Ancient Apparition doing pretty much the same, but Night Stalker's going to get it a lot faster. This was the offlaner compared to the 4-position support, but it is still quite intense that the Night Stalker can get this much momentum in this game. Looks like Wind Ranger is going to be building herself a Rod of Atos. It's really good against Ursa. No, she goes for the Axe. That's fine too. Blink Dagger is going to be up for the Ursa though, and he just probably just going to go Blink BKB this game. I would say it just gives you enough to pretty much stand up to anything TRG are bringing. And if he can surprise somebody with it, that would be huge too. He's got the Aegis, he wants to go YOLO, and now we've got the smoke. So, moving forward, Night Stalker trying to lead the charge. The Observer Ward does not see the double damage rune, but they'll walk on by anyways. It's still kind of a fundamental thing.
Top tower is under attack.
So, moving here. Look in the back line, Ancient Apparition going to go down first. Very nice jump coming in from the Ursa. He'll pop his Enrage pretty early on, though, as he eats 3 stuns and still tanks through it all. Rubik, the tiny little flesh golem that could, trying to waddle away. He slows his opponents down, but one more slash to his back, and he'll go down. Ursa getting a triple as he jumps into the trees. This game just got hella hype very quickly. And, yeah, well, you know, I'm just happy I can see it all. Oh boy. So we've got Undying moving towards the mechanism, soon to be Guardian Greaves very early on. Doggy just gonna be building up the medallion, looking for that Solar Crest. Good against the Wind Ranger in particular.
Structures are fortified.
This is a game you don't want to have to go for a BKB on Wind Ranger, but Solar Crest makes it a little bit harder. Ancient Apparition sending the frozen ammunition to the opposition. Will hit on the TA, but she's going to refract most of this here. And little do they know, she's still lurking. They're going to put some heavy damage into this tier 1 in the middle lane. But still deny possibly coming out here. No, Ursa, he's got the Aegis, he's manning up. Just walking right on top of him, gets the slow, and he's going to get a few right clicks here. But going to get caught by the Fisher, and now the Shackle Shot coming out onto Hidagi. Respawn coming in for the Ursa, but wow, does it go down quick. Before he can even cast the ultimate, he loses half his health, but shrugging that off, he kills off the Earthshaker, but shatters the ultimate of the Ancient Apparition. The tower will fall here. It's going to be last hit by the Undying for Dire. Down bottom, a very aggressive position from KYXY, but he's got the quick fingers. He'll take one shot and then back it off. Alrighty.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Midas going to be coming out. Great time for the Night Stalker. He's suddenly going to be not only level 11, but rapidly approaching 16. We got the tower tombstone under tower near. Did he steal it? No, still sitting on decay. Speaking of, he could steal that strength right back from James, but right now they just want to get away from the zombies. So, they will deny their tier 1 mid while last hitting the opponents. It's actually really good for FTD.B. Their current momentum is very strong. Vladimir's offering picked up from Ursa. He wants to focus his orb on, well, I mean, Orb of Venom and Lifesteal stack, but that's not important. The bottom line is you get some good armor against the Wind Ranger. you're constantly sitting on full HP when you engage in fights, and yeah, now you can focus on the other items. I feel like A is really good. Just gotta hit Ursa with the Ice Blast every single fight if he's gonna be able to kind of keep him at bay. If you get heals and soul rips and lifesteal on the Ursa, then suddenly he's just gonna walk all over your team. So you really need to either kite him around. That's why I recommended the Atos before. But if you can't stop him because he has a BKB, then you just gotta go and Ice Blast him every time. Pretty much the only option there. Of course, Shallow Grave is gonna be looking to prevent early deaths from him. And even a mechanism still up for the Undying, still very powerful. KXY going for the split push play. He doesn't have BOTs though, so this costs him 75 gold every time he goes for this kind of a play. Assuming, yeah, he wants to jump to the other lane and farm. Still pretty cost effective. TA with the blink should be able to escape. Even though there's a smoke here. Oh, well, they get the Fisher coming out. She wasn't refracted, so she won't be able to blink, and she's actually just going to be going down. Ursa's going to try to get some vengeance for her, though, moving in with the Enrage, but he is now 1v4, trying to bait them into his allies as a Tombstone and the Flesh Golem can come out on the back line and really hit this flank. Ursa will take half his life in damage, but he gets mech back up, and they're just going to clear him out. A great flank coming in from FTD.B, and I feel like TRG just walked right into it. They lose KXY as well, and now the zombies slowly meandering to their opponents. Earthshaker scouted out by the Zambo, and looks like he's going to get voided thanks to the vision it provides. So that's going to go down. Ursa will get caught by the shackles, and that will be the end of the fight. Now 14-11 favoring FTD.B.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Glad I disconnected for the boring part of the game. That's what I gotta say. Let's get this action rolling. We got Aghanim Scepter up on MMC. We've got Urn of Shadows soon to be picked up on Nier. And they really need every little bit of health they can to survive the onslaught of FTD.B. They are racking up the kills, and they seem to have no intention of stopping. Next Roshan is pretty much the only thing that's gonna draw their attention away from their opponents, especially if we see another DD rune for the TA. This is like second at least, maybe third this game. And look at the wards! I mean, this is painting the exact picture that FTD.B want to just start completely decimating their opponents. Don't even give them a chance to stand back up on their feet. We'll see Nier get a nice little sentry out here, and that will, the Obs is placed under sentry, and that is gonna at least free up a little bit of that information, but they only get traps for their other sentry. They're not gonna catch this one here. Ursa blinking in soon, but KOXY should just be able to walk away. Ursa can go for two items next, BKB or Hex. KOXY jumping out. But it looks a little bit dangerous. But yeah, Everspear's going to go Manta, which will break him out of the Crippling Fear. But if you go for a Hex on the Ursa, you can actually just straight up kill him every time you see him. Unless he has backup. And that makes Force Staff a much more valuable item for TRG in turn. So I would say Blink over Force for Rubik if he's not just rushing a Ghost Scepter next. Alrighty. So we've got Midas's galore, just the Night Stalker and the AA, but that's still a lot more than you see in an average Dota 2 game, and that means we're going to see a very fast Aghanims for Mr. Night Stalker. Had a great Slardar game, now is having a very high net worth Night Stalker game, and soon he's just going to start dominating the map. Aga Gem Night Stalker. No real answer to it right now, but we will see Windranger just poke down that tier 1 bottom before they can really retaliate.
Are fortified.
Yep, gonna be the BKB for Ursa, so just focusing on the fight, making sure it doesn't get stunned 4 times over, and yeah, of course the Ember can always be killed later. Hex is still gonna always be an answer to him until he picks up a Linken's, which I would say is a long way off. You go for the Phase Drum Manta, you're not gonna pick up a Linken's as your next item. You're gonna go for like the Battle Fury or Crit or something like that. Very quick Roshan. Popping the Enrage would get it even quicker, but it doesn't seem necessary. Just 3 more swipes, and they'll bring him down. And yeah, there's a nice blast, but Ursa shrugs it off and just keeps going. He's looking to mow down the opposition. And it seems like they have every tool they need to do that. They're even getting multiple Glimmer Capes. It could be a pipe. I don't think it has to be a Glimmer Cape on Undying. It definitely should be for the Dazzle, but I think the Undying could actually go for pipe here. Good against the Echo, good against the Ice Blast, and a bunch of smaller spells too. Blink Dagger up for the Wind Ranger though. She has to crow it out though, and I think the fight's gonna happen before that, unless they fully disengage. Night Stalker didn't go Aghanims, he went BKB. I think BKB is really good this game, but this is still kind of the part of the game that you want to start dominating the map. I guess because they have so many wards that they're feeling confident in their terms of vision, and they just want to get right on top of their opponents. I think there's value in both items. It's just I don't think I've actually seen the offlane Night Stalker rush out BKB like this. I think it has a really good potential. I mean, because you even see TA pick up a BKB at the same time. That's 3 BKBs nearly all at once, and TRG just really won't be able to respond to that. The only answer is like just avoiding the fights, disengaging as soon as the BKB gets popped by either Remnant or Windrun. But no, TA just goes out for the Desolator. Makes more sense. She definitely needs that item to deliver her full punch, and it just allows her to take objectives faster too. So I like the Desolator for sure, but the triple BKB all at once could have been just hard, setting TRG off kilter a little bit. Either way, Night Stalker rapidly going to be farming up the Ags next, I would presume. I mean, you can go for like a Basher with this kind of a build. Oh, well, there's a dead AA. Blink and smack him down. It's like a 3 or 4 shot. Ursa, however, is now completely caught out. This is going to be Aegis, and he's going to try to blink out of this one. Do they have any easy way to cancel it? No. Oh, they still get it. The blink doesn't come through, and that is going to be the death of the Ursa. A big kill at that. 513 gold going to the Earthshaker. We'll look at a... Yeah, there we go. 513 gold for him, and ranging from 184 to 300 for assist gold. Very, very key kill. Because now they can start taking the map back a little bit here. So Earthshaker looking for that blink. He went for Arcanes though. Oh, BKB on the Night Stalker just goes right on the tower, no problem at all, and nothing to really stop him. But a Ice Blast will pat him on the back. He's not going to get healed up now, but he's got a bunch of allies with him. The Ursa may be dead, but this TA still hits really hard, and you're fighting under the Tombstone. This is going to get harder and harder to engage upon, but MMC finds the angle and is going to be able to get that Shackle Shot out. Now Shallow Grave and the Soul Rep keeps the Undying kicking, and they'll Glimmer him away. And then frontline Earthshaker gets cleaned up by the TA, and we're going to be looking at the Ancient Apparition slowly walking back to base. Please don't hurt me. No, the Meld Strike. Triple kill. Mr. Ice Cream Cone is turned to slush. Oh boy. This has actually become disastrous all of a sudden for TRG. I mean, already losing game 1 in a very convincing fashion, but now game 2 is just turning into another roundhouse stomp. I mean, I know you have to kind of try to take those fights when the Ursa's not there, but they clearly were ready to fight. The Ice Blast only hit on a BKB on a Night Stalker. It just wasn't enough. And one good Shallow Grave, and they're still kicking. Now we're going to see a rotation up top. Blink most likely leading the charge. Glimmer could allow them to get closer and closer, but again, without an Abyssal Blade, without a Hex, you're not going to find KOXY. It's 3 hits on him, and that's not bad, but it's not a kill. Oh, another Ice Blast coming out. Pretty solid from the AA, but obviously he doesn't have the Aghanims either. And it might not even be going for it next. Cloak? You don't just pick up a casual Cloak here. Not against this team. You're actually looking to Glimmer. Which I feel is pretty well countered by the Aghanim's Gem. Like, they're not relying on their magical damage, they're relying on physical damage. Why does he have a Cloak? This actually makes no sense to me. Like, I try to justify a lot of things in Dota, but the Cloak has almost no value here at all. The magical damage isn't what's killing him. The Glimmer Cape is going to be countered by a Gem in, I would say, well, let's check the courier. Yeah, I would say about 7 or 8 minutes. By the time he has the Glimmer Cape, the Gem is going to be on the field in the Night Stalker's hands, and then Glimmer doesn't mean much. I don't know. I just don't know. We're going to see KOXO take some hits. He's got that Manta up, so it's still impossible to kill him. But is he getting enough farm to make that fact worth it? Right now, KOXY is at 9,700 net worth, tied with the Wind Ranger, who just doesn't farm as fast. And, yeah, overall CS is still good for KOXY, but, oh, the gem comes out from the Undying. As long as he hangs on to this, as long as they grave the gem and do whatever they can to keep it in their Dire's hands, they're really just limiting the potential of TRG moving forward. They're not going to be able to get wards out. They're not going to be able to use Invis to their advantage. It's just a really hard game now. Ursa going in, KOXY trying to bait it. Does go for a little bit of a Manta play in the Searing Chains. Now popping the Invis rune. And staying on top of the Ursa. He's going to try to go for a blink back, and it looks like he'll succeed, but Dazzle's already out of it. Oh, Rubik going to be destroyed. BKB pop by the Ursa, but the Windrunner is going to keep her distance. So it's a 1-for-1 right now. BKB charge as well, but FTD.B want to do a little bit more than that. They have the ward vision. They know exactly the path to take to find their quarry, but they'll have to run them down. And there's going to be a couple spells thrown out at the Ursa. Still, he'll take the Ancient Apparition. MMC blinking back here. Crippled up. I think he can still juke long enough to get another blink out, but he doesn't have a TP scroll, so he has to be careful. And this is where the Aghanims effect of the Night Stalker would be huge. Like, you would absolutely be able to run him down thanks to the clear vision at 1800. But in this case, he just doesn't see him around the corners and misses a kill. Still, though, he'll have that Axe pretty soon. They already have the gem and the Undying, and they're looking to just take the mid lane. Alright, so Earthshaker going to be picking up his Blink Dagger. It was about time, honestly. The offlane Shakers in China, when they just go bottle into Blink, you see it like 14-15 minutes in. This guy went Arcanes and died 6 times, and they might not even have the initiation here. They'll break the smoke, and it actually could still be in the hands of the Dire, but they'll blink back just to make sure they're not walking into too much trouble. And now they're ready to fight. Now they get the nighttime, and that's when they're really just at their strength. KOXY, he's got to lead it, but we're actually going to see a BKB come out on Night Stalker, and he'll be right on top of his opponent. The gem is outside the range of the Glimmer Cape, so they do get a little disengaged there, but otherwise really not a really big engagement from anybody. The Night Stalker wastes his BKB. The Glimmer Cape does show some value here. I knocked it, but the Undying's holding the gem, not the Night Stalker. And what that means is that the Undying, who's always going to be much further back, is not always going to have that detection. Once they give the gem over to the Night Stalker, though, I feel that's a different story. Looking for the cripple here, but he's got Manta. It doesn't matter. And another grouping play from TRG. They can't be isolated here at nighttime, even with the full vision of the night, no darkness. And KOXY Mantaing the cripple and remnanting away. There we go. Took a little bit, but he made his way out. He just kind of wanted to make sure that anybody that was in this area followed him that way, instead of looking for remnants, I would presume. Other than that, he's creating space and buying time for his allies to push top. They've got the Blink Echo. They want to unveil it gloriously under this tower. So they're going to push with the Focus Fire. They're going to bait the Wind Ranger, and they're going to look for like a 2-hero and 5 creep Echo. But we'll see if they can get those comeback kills. They really need it at this point, but James coming in the flank. Oh, the gem. This could be a huge pickup if they find James first, but TRG glimmered up. That's going to be the Ursa. Pops the BKB. They echo him, but it doesn't matter. He's already killed the Earthshaker, and the Ice Blast comes through. He'll shake it off soon, and wow, Nier's already dead.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
It just didn't work out how they wanted to. Their only answer is Ghost Scepters, and that still is only delaying it. Now Basher, soon to be Abyssal, up on the Ursa, as long as he managed to support it. This actually gives him kill potential against KYXY. They've actually got the flank, but he's got the remnants, as always. Maelstrom coming out of the Wind Ranger now, a little delayed. We'll make these Glimmer Caves more useful for the Dazzle and the Undying. And it's still a good overall pickup, but not a game changer. It's just gonna make it easier to take refraction charges off when BKB's down. Maybe you get a lucky blink cancel.
Has fallen to the
And of
down.
course, you just get overall more teamfight damage output in an AoE. Aegis will go to the Ursa, Cheese will go to the TA. And at this point, you've got a 10-second BKB in TA, an 8-second BKB on Ursa, and an 8-second BKB on Nightstalker, who just picked up his Ags. Yeah, I was willing to be open-minded about the BKB, but I'm gonna call it now. In hindsight, it probably would have been better to take the BKB after Ags rather than before. I don't think it really generated opportunities for him the same way the Ags would. But it doesn't matter. They're in large and in charge right now. 31-20 on the clock, but look at that net worth value. That's over 14,000 net worth. That's 17,000 experience. It's a hell of an advantage for FTD.B, and they're going to be jumping right on this Wind Ranger now. Gets the Void out before, so she doesn't get the Blink. She will get the Fissure to help her out, though, and it looks like she still might get away. The big difference here is they don't have Urn of Shadows on either of these heroes. If they had Urn, they could keep her Blink down, and she wouldn't get this Void. Oh, she still doesn't. The zombie keeps on top of her, and they cancel her TP. 3 seconds, she'll be able to Blink again, but the Tombstone, wow, that range on the Tombstone is just perfect to get that kill. If she was any little bit further, if she even power shotted her way into the tree further, zombies wouldn't be spawning on her and they wouldn't have vision. But they still stay on top of her, they still get that kill. Now mid, oh, Ursa in a pretty bad spot, and the grave is too early. There's no way to guarantee his life, but he still is dinky enough to not shatter and lose the Aegis. Not yet anyways. We'll see the Ursa drop down now. But the TA's come in to reinforce his second life. Ember Spirit needs to jump out quickly here. He's already lost a third of his health. And the Ursa Bear, he wants some blood. BKB from TA was a little bit awkward, though. I gotta say, if there's one thing that TDB can work on, it's their BKB usage. It seems very, very preemptive. And I mean, sometimes it's better to activate that item sooner rather than later, but I feel like it's been too early too many times. And now actually Ursa's going to pop the Enrage, try to go on an easy target, but with the Ghost Scepter and everybody walking away, there isn't an easy target, and he's going to have to probably wait for 20 seconds here. Wait for the Enrage to come back up, otherwise it might not be an easy pick, though the Rubik is lacking Ghost Scepter now. Oh, meld dodging the Meld Strike from the air. That's actually very clever.
Radiant structures are fortified.
So, will they turn the Cheese over to Ursa's curiosity as well? They've got Cheese on TA, Ursa's got the inventory slot. But we're going to see a two-man shackle onto the two core heroes. Ursa taking a lot of damage, and there's an Echo Slam on the back line. Templar Assassin goes down, and Ursa gets graved up, but there's an Ice Blast to guarantee his death. He'll delay it, but he will fall, and the Downsel with him, not even claiming this tower. Oh, looking for one more. KYXY got a double kill out of that, but the Undying and the Night Stalker disengaged, and that's the fight they're looking for. One glorious Miracle Shackle, and while I would love to pump up MMC and say that was him, he led of heaven to hell out of that one, it was kind of the Ursa and the TA's positioning. They just stood like in a perfect line right down the middle lane, and it probably was one of the easier shackles, but still of such critical import. Battle Fury suddenly up for the Ember Spirit, able to really start making things happen offensively, able to hold his high ground, able to push out creep waves, able to do his thing. And now he can work towards Lincoln's, which would cancel out the inevitable Abyssal Blade.
Illusion.
So, really nice jump there. And, you know, when the Ancient Apparition does start working towards his Aghanims, then we're going to be seeing some Ursas that struggle to survive. Now the Aghanims is up for the Night Stalker, but it just hit daytime. Not really going to be able to take much advantage of him. In fact, he could lose his gem if he's not careful. Up top, though, KOXY doing his thing. The two enemy carries. He does get bashed. Oh, the RNG bash. He had to know it was a possibility. He had to know that Basher was there, but he was just hoping that it wouldn't be the first hit. And, if we look back on a lot of the exchanges Ember has had with the TA and the Ursa, he always gets hit once and then he backs out. So I think that might just be a playstyle issue, where he always lets himself get hit once, and in that case you can't afford that kind of an error. We're going to see the chain stun, even without the shackle latching. That's a dead Night Stalker, and much more importantly, a dead gem. Now 9 minutes, I believe, have elapsed. No, it's 8.5 minutes, so gem up in 24.
Radiant's middle tower
Which will sync up pretty nicely with the nighttime as the Night Stalker respawns. The tier 2 tower dies in mid. Ursa very close to his Abyssal Blade. I think he does want to buy out for it. And we'll see the tower on top fall as well. The Earthshaker will try as he might to enchant his totems and rock the bot lane. Alright, 10,000 net worth favoring FTD.B. Experience, not as significant, but still about 12 or 13k. They've been 5-manning decent a bit, but it's kind of their job at this point. They're not really intending to spread the map and extend the game. They just want to close it out as quickly as possible, and that's all about tower momentum. BOT's up on TA, so she can spread the map a little bit more now and farm up her next big thing, but that's the big pickup. Big ticket item, Abyssal Blade, complete on the Ursa, and that's a guaranteed bash and then some on a hero like Ember Spirit. Oh, whoa, I just looked down in the corner. I saw the Ursa here, I saw the Wind Ranger there, and then I glance out somewhere else, and while I'm looking at Abyssal, I see a Golf Gold, and I'm like, holy shit, what is happening? No, he finds the Wind Ranger before she wind runs, and she's gone in the blink of an eye. So, that's the way to unveil the item. And he looks to be going Hex next, so he's going to have both. Then he can go Refresher and have like 4 single target hard disables. That'd be really fun. Night Stalker's Darkness. He's got his new gem picked up. I don't believe this was the old one, but yeah, Rubik still has that one. But the offlaner is going to be moving out, finding his new opportunity, which seems to be on bottom lane. KXY trying to lead them on a merry chase, but he actually could be caught out here. This is not a guaranteed safe position. But he will jump back here. Whee! It's the 4th of July, guys. Alright, so we've got Night Stalker picking up the plate mail. I think it's AC. Makes the most sense here. Yeah, this KXY needs a Linken's at all costs. I mean, the Lotus Orb isn't too bad, because then the Ursa stuns himself. But you're probably still going to be killed off by somebody else in that time frame. You also, you know, you have to activate Lotus. It's not as reactive as Linken's is. Night Stalker's stalking towards the top lane. MMC might get picked off in the same tree line he recently met his fate. Yeah, the Night Stalker's right on top of him, but doesn't have an easy way to cancel the Blink Dagger other than voiding, and now you can just TP. He could just TP? Nope. He's gonna Blink TP. There we go. Oh, the Night Stalker Aghanim's voids him out, and now MMC is gonna be going down. No, he should have TP'd the second he got voided. That is a big misplay from the Wind Ranger, because again, there is no Urn of Shadows. So if the Night Stalker finds you, he has to get a melee hit on you in order to cancel your Blink. If he uses Void to cancel your Blink, you can just TP. Because again, Dazzle, Undying, even the TA, none of them can cancel TPs. Only the Ursa can with Abyssal. So as soon as Void's on cooldown, you TP the hell out of there. In this case, the Wind Ranger tries to go for some distance play, and that's just not gonna suffice. $13,000 net worth, 15,000 experience. We see FTD still maintaining their lead significantly, but KOXY is trying to go for the comeback dream. He's just trying to go for the full, like, 6-slotted Ember Spirit and crit the hell out of his opponents. We've got Templar Assassins MKB up, fighting through the Wind Run, very important, and it is also a new bash component if the opponent isn't magic immune. Roshan time! TA traps, the perfect intel, so you always know what's going on in the pit. Would it be too hard of a nerf if TA's traps didn't see inside the pit? I mean, there are so many spells that don't see in the pit. Or at least, there are so many things that don't see in the pit, words being the clear example. I don't know. I feel like that it is a really strong component of the hero. Not only can she do rush fast, but she always knows what's going on, unless you deward it. And even then. Just food for thought. But we do have the Solar Crest finally complete for Dazzle. Solar Glimmer. The Undying still just has Glimmer Ghost with his G-Greaves. And, yeah, we're going to see them most likely just rush down mid now. I mean, they've got everything they want here for the Ursa. What happened to that Void Stone? Still in the courier. Saved it for a later day. Casual mana regen. TA still got some cheese. Undying does as well. And all they're trying to do is just find Ember Spirit once. Right now, Ember Spirit is the rat that they need to exterminate if they're going to have a clean push. Otherwise, you're going to be losing tower health. Not much, because Ember Spirit actually sucks at hitting towers. He only is hitting for, right now, 222 damage a pop. Manta Illusions add in a little bit more, but not much. So overall, I would say Ember Spirit's not going to really threaten the tower itself, but the creep waves are always going to be pushing out that way, and it's just frustrating. You want your push to be clean, you don't want to trade anything for it, especially not when you're this far ahead. Templar Assassin trying to meld bait. Is he going to be out of the gem range, though? It looks like Nier won't be able to find him. And TA just blinks away, melts again. They know about it this time, though, and they're going to just stay on top of him. She pops the BKB, but her team is closing in quickly. And it's only going to be a trap steal from Rubik. Not the best thing to fight with. But we're going to see Ancient Apparition glimmering as well, and this might be enough. The gem is not close enough, and Ancient Apparition gets his distance, but TA finds him out and 3-shots him. So, as it stands right now, we've got a dead Ancient Apparition for 45 seconds. All the waves pushed out as much as they need to be, other than bottom. GalaxY will make sure that this tier 2 is going down soon, but I think that FTD.B focus on the greater objective, and that's obviously the tier 2, tier 3 and the racks. Ursa doesn't have that much mana to work with. If he blinks in, he can only really Abyssal, but he's going to get that Abyssal onto that Rubik and kill him off quickly. So now there's no lift, and there's no more TA traps. Oh, double shackle again coming out. The Ursa already uses Enrage. There is going to be a Dazzle Shallow Grave coming out if necessary, but they need the Ice Blast to really secure a kill opportunity. Otherwise, you just Soul Rep, you Shadow Wave, you heal him up. Could even just hand him the cheese and keep going. I mean, they have 2 cheese, right? Like, Undying should just give it to him, honestly. He needs mana, too. But as it stands right now, the Ice Blast will come through. Ursa going in, getting the bash onto the Ember Spirit, but with a nice little fissure. Ember Spirit makes his way back, just narrowly, and will get the Glimmer Cape just in case he needs to disjoint and auto-attack. Alright, so the racks are the target now. Melee seems to be their goal. A bit more ambitious on the range, but still very possible in this situation. The Shack Shot comes through, but TA blinks in to help him out and can pierce through the wind run with that MKB. She's on target, but she's also running out of BKB soon, and there's going to be the Echo Slam. They need more stuns, though, as they lose the Earthshaker immediately and only get the Crippling Fear from the Night Stalker stolen. Ursa here, just large and in charge, but now out of BKB and getting lifted up, caught inside the Change Healer and Rage, and go once again on the Rubik and Abyssal him down. Oh, that's a brutal pickup there. So, they did actually end up hanging onto the cheese for now, and they actually are able to close out on the Ember Spirit, but he's kind of doing that intentionally so he can buy back into the game. They don't want to be a lane of racks down, but now they have no choice. If they go out any further, they're just going to get crushed outside their base. Mana or issues or not, FTD.B are just so strong right now. And what the hell are you doing? This Night Stalker has night vision and it just hit 44. You can't walk into the clear vision of the Night Stalker and not expect to die. That's just the bottom line here. The Hex complete from the enemy's shop, it looks like, or no, it's on the courier still. But even still, it's the GG. It is the death of TRG, the Thunder Robot Gaming, the best name of all time for a team. But it's not going to give them any bonus points here. They're going to be getting 2-0'd by FTD.B, setting up FTD.B with 3 points here. Again, the previous play day, yesterday, FTD.B went 0-2 against the Wings Gaming, so being able to 2-0 TRG here really puts them in a better position to contest the top 2 slots here in the group stage for Star Letter I-League China. That was really fun after we got back in and solved all our connectivity issues. Once again, sorry about the stuff with Perfect World servers and Chinese firewalls. I'll try to be starting Steam a little bit sooner, because that obviously helped quite a bit. But, you know, it's just essentially finding a new route to these servers, and we found a good one. But yeah, so we're going to be looking at our next matchup shortly here. It is going to be Vici Potential versus eHome L, which can't be the real eHome because they're obviously in Frankfurt. So yeah, we'll see what they're up to, but eHome L, one of the two B teams of eHome. You got eHome Kings and eHome L, which we'll know what that stands for when we jump into it in just a few minutes here. We're only 20 minutes ahead of schedule, so we got a brief little break, some music, some ads, but we'll come back with some more amazing Dota 2. Thanks once again for tuning in. It's been a pleasure to broadcast on behalf of Beyond the Summit here for you guys, and I'm glad that things are working out once again. It was a pretty fun game, seeing that Ursa is just maul stuff, and maybe we'll get some